Hi, I'm Robert Chown from Gainesville, Texas, and we're going to talk a little bit about the hackmore today. I'm frequently asked, both from raiders and all cow horse people, all kinds of people, how to use the hackmore because it's been a dying art lately. And I'm going to first show you a couple hackmores I have here and should tell you what I look for in a quality hackmore. First thing is you'll notice both of these hackmores they're kind of round. They're shaped like a horse's face, which is what you want. If your hackmore, for instance, take this, if you have a hackmore that's real flat across the nose right here and almost made like a triangle, comes down to a serious V right here, then obviously that's not conforming to your horse's face, and that's not going to be a good hackmore for that horse. Another thing you'll notice here is how I've got these tied, that the reins come out even there. I've got a flat, what I call a block across the back here, to where everything's real even and real balanced. Now, the tape I have here, that is strictly just so that it doesn't have quite as much bite against the jaw, because I don't want to get that jaw sore. So I've just got the little tape there to keep from doing that. And on a less sensitive horse, I might take the tape off, or after I've got them in the hackmore a while, or to show them, I might take it off. But that's really just all that is there for. But again, we want a nice round shape. And then we also, another thing that's really important is that they have a good core. All hackmores are braided over the top of a core. Now, if your hackmore, if you go like this and it doesn't move at all, it's got a steel core or a cable core, and you probably shouldn't use it. If it's real floppy, or if it won't hold a shape, it's also a sign that it's not got a really good core. The braider will do all kinds of different things to that core to make it stiffer or more pliable, whatever. But the main thing is, no matter what, when you bend one like that, they should snap back into shape. Like you see that one there, when I turn it loose, it snaps back into shape. You don't want it to like fold. Now this is, of course, that right there is all rawhide. This is another really good hackmore. It is latigo here and rawhide on the nose, and that just gives it a little softer feel here. So now that we've kind of gone over what we're looking for in a hackmore, let's ride. Okay, now that we're on, let me show you a little bit about how the hackmore should work. The hackmore, I talked about the tape on the jaw. Now the jaw comes into play with a hackmore, but really the hackmore should work from the nose back, not the jaw forward. And that's also important why your hackmore has the proper shape. You see this hackmore right here, when I pick up here, it should take hold of the nose, then the side of the face, then last the jaw. Think of his nose is like sitting in the middle of a cylinder, and that hackmore is the edge all the way around. And really all I want is whatever part of his nose, the side of his face, whatever hits that hackmore, he gives. For instance, if I pick up here and ask him to bend here, then that hackmore should be right there. If I go over here, bend around like that, you can see that hackmore is hitting him on the side of the face. He should give his face laterally. Now, if I pick up there, then again, that's nose, then the side of the face, then the last thing that comes into play is the jaw. The jaw is really only in play for the break part. You shouldn't be engaging the jaw laterally. It's another reason too why your hands are important. When you ride with a hackmore, it's important that you keep your hands flat and here. Hackmore is not designed to pull up here or across. For instance, if you take this rein and you run it across his neck trying to bend him that way, you can see how you lock this jaw up. It doesn't work like it should, again, against the front of the nose and then back. Now, anytime you pick up your hand like that, not just across, but even straight up, you're going to put that into play. So flat hands out here, right, left. It's a right-left device right there. And you can bump there. Another thing right there, this horse is green in the hackmore, but like right there, if he doesn't give, I'll bump him a little bit. I don't want to get in a big, hard, steady, dead pull with one in a hackmore. Bobby Ingersoll told me when I was a little kid that, boy, all you got on a hackmore is a big old bluff anyway, so don't wear it out. You know, so that was really important. When that horse takes a hold, I take a hold real soft. If that horse takes a hold of me, I might rattle that hackmore or do something like that, get my hands alive, and rattle him back up off that hackmore. But I'm not going to get in a big, hard, steady pull with him. Now in motion, it's the same thing. When I come around here, and I want this horse to bend in the hackmore, I'm going to bend right there. I'm going to keep my hands flat, and I want his chin to fall right between my hands. If I want him the other way, I want to reverse arc him. Same thing here. Obviously, you get your legs involved just like you would with a snaffle or anything else. But I'll take him over here. Now you can see how that hackmore is pulling on the left side of his face. Now this also is very important because what I'm teaching that horse to do is get off pressure on the outside, which as a bridle horse or a finished one-handed horse later, they have to learn how to react from the outside, whether it's the neck rein, the outside of the bit pulling, whatever it is. And the hackmore is a great, great tool to teach that. When I put him in motion here, if I want him to ride a lot straight down, then I'll just pick up right here. And you can see, I'll get him right here. If I feel he's a little heavy, I might bump that right there, but I don't need to. I just pick up real soft. Again, here, if I want his head left, here, if I want his head right. Now, if I want him to I'll show you about turning one around. If you want to say do a reining spin, what I do mainly on my hackmore horses is, I'll pick them up, move this from the outside, let their head go right there, and let them step around. And all I've got that inside rein for is shape, okay? You don't want to do this. This is not how you do your reining spin in a hackmore. Pulling them as hard around there with the inside rein. You see right there, this horse is given to that hackmore right there, because I'm pulling right there, and I'm backing him around. He's doing what he's supposed to do in that position because I'm just pulling his nose. If I was to get my hand way out here, see how it gives to the hand there? It's hitting him in a different spot. Wherever I pull, he just gets off the offside of that hackmore. And again, if I want that rein and spin, I'll ride more from the outside and just put his head right between my hands there and let him step around. But again, it's from that outside. And that was the thing, too, that in the vaquero tradition where the hackmore came from, they started horses in the hackmore, rode them through their 5-year-old year in the hackmore because a horse didn't have a full mouth. And they didn't believe in putting a bit in one's mouth while they were shedding teeth. But the longer in the training process, they actually rode their horses one-handed in the hackmore, to get them off there. And if you go, you can work on your steering, everything else right there. Again, see how that's teaching that horse to be a bridle horse or a one-handed horse, because it's really teaching him to get off the outside. Not only the outside rein, but the outside of his face. So that when something pulls from the outside, he understands how to give to the pressure and actually look inside. If you enjoyed this brief introduction to the hackmore, I always love to talk to people about this piece of equipment, so anytime you see me, feel free to ask. Also look for all the other great videos here at Tom McCutcheon Virtual Horse Help.